It was the biggest financial lie in history. A $65 billion illusion, built not on skill, not on market genius, but on deception. For decades, one man stood at the very top of Wall Street, respected, untouchable, and trusted by the world's elite. But behind that calm smile, behind the spotless reputation, was a system of lies so massive that even the FBI struggled to understand how it worked. This is the story of Bernie Madoff, the man who fooled Wall Street, deceived the world, and built an empire on air until it all came crashing down. Today, we uncover the $65 billion lie that fooled the world. In the 1960s, Wall Street was a different world, chaotic, unregulated, and filled with opportunity. A young, ambitious man from Queens, New York, Bernard Lawrence Madoff, entered the scene. He didn't come from wealth or Ivy League privilege. He was the underdog, a Brooklyn-born hustler with a vision. At just 22 years old, Bernie started Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities with a few $1,000s he earned as a lifeguard. He had charm, confidence, and one unique advantage. He understood the chaos of the markets when others didn't. As technology began to reshape Wall Street, Madoff was one of the first to use computerized trading, a revolutionary move. While others shouted on trading floors, Bernie let his machines do the work. He wasn't just a trader, he was an innovator, and that innovation paid off. His firm became one of the largest market makers on NASDAQ. By the 1980s, Madoff wasn't just successful, he was legendary. He helped shape electronic trading itself, even serving as chairman of NASDAQ. To the outside world, he was the symbol of success, a man who had mastered the market. But beneath the perfection, the dark side was already forming. Madoff had two businesses. One was legitimate, the market-making arm, trading stocks for major firms. The other was hidden, a private investment advisory business that only a select few could access. This exclusive fund became Wall Street's best-kept secret. Clients whispered about consistent returns, 10%, 12%, even 15% per year, no matter the market condition. It didn't matter if stocks crashed or soared. Bernie always delivered profit. It sounded impossible. And yet, nobody questioned him. Wealthy families, celebrities, charities, even financial institutions poured billions into his fund. They believed he had a magic formula, a proprietary trading strategy that could see the market's future. But there was no strategy, no trades, just a spreadsheet of lies. Madoff wasn't investing money. He was running a Ponzi scheme. New investors' money paid old investors' profits. On paper, everyone was getting richer, but in reality, the money wasn't growing. It was disappearing. Madoff's real genius wasn't in finance. It was in human psychology. He understood greed, fear, and exclusivity. He made his fund hard to get into. He didn't chase investors. They chased him. And when something looks too exclusive, it feels legitimate. People begged to invest. Even banks who normally demanded proof didn't dare question Bernie. They were afraid of being left out. In the world of wealth, FOMO, the fear of missing out, is stronger than logic. And Madoff played that emotion like a violin. He gave investors a story they wanted to believe. Steady, safe growth. No wild swings, no high-risk promises. Just calm, consistent returns. He was the safe genius, the man who outsmarted Wall Street's chaos. In truth, he was orchestrating the biggest con the market had ever seen. By the early 2000s, Bernie's fund had ballooned to tens of billions. Yet there were quiet whispers. Analysts who noticed his trades didn't make sense. One man, Harry Markopolos, a financial investigator, tried to warn regulators. He analyzed Madoff's returns and realized they were mathematically impossible. He filed multiple reports to the SEC, calling Madoff's operation a fraud. But the regulators ignored him. Why? Because Bernie Madoff wasn't just any trader. He was a legend. Respected, connected, powerful. He donated millions to charities and politicians. He was untouchable. Years went by. The scheme grew. And so did the danger. Madoff was trapped in his own creation. Every dollar owed required new money to cover it. It was a ticking time bomb. Then came 2008, the global financial crisis. Markets crashed. Investors panicked. Billions of dollars were withdrawn overnight. And for the first time, Madoff couldn't find enough new money to cover withdrawals. The illusion broke. On December 10, 2008, Bernie sat his two sons down in his Manhattan apartment. He confessed, "It's all one big lie." They didn't believe him at first, but they went to the FBI. The next morning, Bernie Madoff was arrested. The total losses? An estimated $65 billion, the largest financial fraud in history. The news spread like wildfire. Celebrities, billionaires, and pensioners, all victims. Charities collapsed. Families lost everything. Even banks in Europe were crippled. But beyond the money, it was the trust that shattered. Wall Street realized it could be fooled, not by a hacker or a thief, but by one of its own. In 2009, Bernie Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison. He died there in 2021, unrepentant, claiming that the world was just as greedy as he was. But the ripple effect never faded. The SEC was humiliated, financial laws were rewritten, and investors became permanently skeptical. Madoff's name became a symbol, not just of greed, but of blind trust gone wrong. How does a man who already had everything, power, respect, wealth, destroy it all? That's the haunting question that still echoes. Some say Madoff started small. Maybe he really did plan to pay it all back. Maybe the first lie was meant to buy time. But the truth is, once a trader crosses the line between performance and illusion, there's no way back. He lived decades pretending to be what he wasn't. Each Christmas party, each golf game with billionaires, every donation, all funded by lies. He fooled his own friends, his clients, and even his family. But in the end, the person he fooled most was himself. The story of Bernie Madoff isn't just about greed. It's about trust, illusion, and the dark side of human ambition. He showed us that the most dangerous frauds don't happen in shadows. They happen in plain sight, with a smile, a handshake, and a perfect reputation. As traders, investors, or even ordinary people, the lesson is clear. Question everything. Trust data, not emotion. And never forget, even the biggest names can fall. This was Bernie Madoff, the $65 billion lie that fooled the world. If you found value in this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. Because next, we'll be diving into the untold story of another trader who shook the world. Until then, trade smart. And never get fooled by the illusion of success.